Barcelona 3-0 Villarreal. 5 things we learned as Neymar double sends Barca top. 2 from the Brazilian and a goal from Luis Suarez handed Barca all 3 points. Barcelona avoided a potential banana skin as they beat an impressive Villarreal side 3-0 to go top of La Liga. But they were forced to do it in a second-half rally as they overcame some nice football from the visitors to win thanks to goals from Neymar and Luis Suarez. Remarkably, the £150 million pair have scored every single one of Barcelona's league goals since the Argentine was taken off with knee ligament damage. After a goalless first half, Neymar broke the deadlock after brilliant work from Sergio Busquets had set him through on goal. And the Brazilian then allowed his strike partner to take a penalty minutes later that took their combined tally to 16 La Liga goals, 8 each, since Messi went down. Neymar gave the scorelline a generous sheen with a remarkable third, flicking the ball over a defender before volleying home, as Barca went top ahead of Real Madrid's tough trip to Sevilla. The good stuff. When these two teams meet, it is a clash of two very different football clubs, one a worldwide giant and the other from a small town, still somehow staying afloat with the Liga title challengers. Villarreal have been confounding expectations for 10 or 15 years now, even throwing a relegation in the period to keep things interesting. But they are a bona fide top 7 side in La Liga and can feasibly challenge for the top 4, even if a championship tilt seems a tad beyond them at this stage. While they topped La Liga for the first time in their 92-year history earlier this season, the fact remains that they're now in the third tier of clubs in Spanish football. Real Madrid and Barca are obviously top, with Atletico in a tier of their own just below. Villarreal come with Valencia and Sevilla on the next level down. But for all this is a clash of two different clubs, this fixture manages to pit two very similar styles of football up against each other. And it wasn't like Rayo Vallecano, who aspire to play like Barca but simply don't have the quality and got absolutely pumped at the Nou Camp a few weeks back. No, this was a match of terrific technique, with the two sides taking it in turns to press and probe, to cut out or create, and it turned out to be, as it seemingly always is when these teams meet, a superb match-up. Strangely goalless. For all the good football on show, the also excellent defending cancelled out anything being thrown forward by either attack. So we went in goalless at half-time. First half struggles and something that have been especially uncommon for Barca this season though, with Luis Enrique's men 10th in the league based on their half-time results, interestingly, a bar lead from Real Madrid at the top. Indeed, they have only led at the break in 3 of their 10 La Liga games in 2015-16. All's well that ends well though, and Barcelona had won 7 out of 7 home matches this season, a run they added with Neymar's second half surge. The worst is over. Wipe the sweat from your brow, Luis Enrique. It's over, it's done. The worst thing that could happen to Barcelona, or probably any team on the planet, did happen. Lionel Messi picked up a serious injury. But the Blaugrana have come through it and, fingers crossed, this was the last game without the Argentine superstar. All hopes are that Messi will return after the international break and in time for the big one, Barca's visit to the Santiago Bernabéu for El Clasico on November 21st. Since Leo was taken off against Las Palmas, Luis Enrique has led his cobbled-together side to 7 wins in 9 games. Sevilla outplayed and rightly beat Barca in Andalusia, but otherwise there can only be confidence in the corridors of the Nou Camp with how the coach and squad have dealt with such a testing period. Remember, it wasn't just Messi who was out but, at different times, Andres Iniesta, Ivan Rakitic, Javier Mascherano, Rafinha, Thomas Vermaelen and Jordi Alba. To be level on points with Madrid going into the international break after such a testing autumn would make them big favourites to retain La Liga. Big name striker. Barcelona have scored 15 goals since Lionel Messi got injured on that sunny afternoon in September, and Luis Suarez and Neymar have got all of them. Until today the two had been neck and neck but Neymar edged ahead with a game-changing strike that he had much to thank Sergio Busquets for. The midfielder, who Luis Enrique last week described as the best in the world, brilliantly cut out a pass, as we are used to. With his next touch, He threaded a perfect pass through to Neymar, who took the ball brilliantly before finishing low past Alphonse Areola. It was going to take a great goal to break down this Villarreal defense, but Barca proved they have plenty of players capable of providing those. 8-7 to Neymar. Now your move, Luis. Pen pal. The gauntlet was thrown down, and Luis Suarez stepped up to knock it home from 12 yards. After Mano was fouled on a counter-attack, Neymar left the penalty to his Uruguayan counterpart to extend Barca's lead and put the game beyond reasonable doubt. Neymar grabbed the late third to edge ahead of Suarez and, in doing so, became top scorer in La Liga. Ref Justice Clos Gomez wasn't a popular figure at the Nou Camp today. In a game where Barcelona's players were uncharacteristically angry, especially so considering it wasn't against Madrid, there were all sorts of players in red and blue losing their heads. Within 30 seconds of the second half resuming, Neymar and Luis Suarez found themselves booked for dissent. Andres Iniesta was unusually spiky in the first period and was yellow-carded for a challenge that could generously be described as untidy. Perhaps the Barca players were readying themselves for the inevitable complaints over refereeing after their clash with Real Madrid.